Welcome back to ChristianCraft, my fellow image bearers. I hope you're doing well today. Have you ever... Whoa, crazy. Leave me alone, guy. I'm just going to leave him be. Have you ever met somebody that's changed your life? Have you ever met somebody who their presence just fixes you? Have you ever fallen in love? Whoa. Today I'm going to be talking about that. Whoa. Because I'm going to be talking about getting married. I'm going to be talking about how I met my wife. I got married last month, and it changed my life. My wedding date was the best day of my life. And it's something that expressing in a video is really difficult to do. It's such a sacred and special day. And so in honesty, there's going to be a lot about this that I'm not going to really communicate because it's such a special, private, intimate day with my wife and with my family, with my closest friends that, you know, doesn't need to be on the internet. But I'll talk about it vaguely. You know, I'll talk about my wife vaguely. I don't want to give away anything personal about her or us, but things that should be willing and open for me to share and things that obviously I'm open to share. Before we get into that, we're going to start this video off as we start off all of our videos, or how we should, at the Image Bear wheat field. This field of wheat right here represents all of our subscribers. We have this right here, 745. Last video, we had 745 subscribers. And today, we have 879. That's pretty crazy. I was really nervous, guys. I'm going to be honest. Coming back from such a long break. I was like, yeah, this video's not going to do great. I titled it my worst video ever because I just knew that if I had some fun with it, it wouldn't sting as bad. You know, I wasn't super proud of that video, to be honest. I was proud that I did it. I was proud that I got it done. If you haven't seen last video, you can check it out. Tell me for yourself if you think it was my worst video ever. But it's just about taking that first step back in. And it is on track to do like 1,000 views in a few days. And I've gained over 100 subscribers in a few days since being back. It is just absolutely a blessing that I have so many people supporting me and supporting my dream and supporting Christian content. I mean, people are hungry for it. But that video is in the past. Right now, we're in today's video. I met my wife about 3 years ago. And several days here, it will be exactly 3 days ago I met my wife. We both met as students at Texas A&M. We were both RAs. We were at RA training, and we just so happened to live right next door from each other. We worked at buildings across the street, and I got to know her because she lived right next door. So whenever we had our training, we'd be in the same groups together. And when... I need to give a little bit more backstory here. I have been throughout my life was very notorious for never wanting to get married, never wanting to date. You know, I come from a big family. So all of my siblings, you know, we grew up in a big family. So we love family. You know, they want to start families. They want to be married. They want to have kids. And I was always just like, nah, I don't want to get married. Bachelor to the rapture. Actually, one of the very first things I ever said to my wife was, yeah, I'm not really interested in getting married. Nah, I'm a bachelor to the rapture. And then I started dating her a couple weeks later. But I'm getting ahead of myself. A lot of my friends you know, they knew me by that. That was the guy who was just, I liked reading my Bible. I was really into apologetics and philosophy and the Bible, and I had no room in my heart for a woman. Um, and I believed that I was just going to be single my whole life. I just wasn't really interested in dating. Wasn't really interested in the idea of getting married. And I saw this woman and I was just like, wow, she's beautiful. And then I heard her laugh for the first time and I was like, oh my goodness, I am really into her. And every day at lunch, I would just like scoot one chair closer to her. Um, and one day I finally like talked to her directly and introduced myself, talked a little bit, found out that she was a Christian, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is amazing." And I was like, "Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. What am I thinking? I I'm not going to date. I'm not getting married. No, no, no." Like I kind of try to like shut it down in my own head and heart. And one day at lunch, I overheard her talking about how she needs some, like we're RAs, right? So she needed some materials for her projects, her bulletin boards, her little decorations she puts on her residence doors with their names on it. Call them door decks. Shout out RAs. Smash like if you're a RA. Smash like if you're not an RA. And so door decks. Well, what am I thinking? Door decks, yeah. I overheard her. She needed materials for them. And I wanted to get them for her. And what's really funny about this story is that I didn't like when I brought them to her, she's like, "Oh my gosh, like that's so sweet. Thank you." And I was like, "Yeah, of course. I went out, I was out grocery shopping and I just thought I'd get them. I overheard you wanted them." Like try to play it off. And I didn't have a car at the time. I asked my friend, "Hey, will you take me to go grocery shopping?" And it wasn't because I needed groceries. It was because I wanted to get that for her. Like I wanted to do that. And she was very thankful. And we were talking a little bit. And she was like asking me these questions. I'm like, this is awesome. She's wanting to get to know me. And I was naive. I'd never really talked to a girl like that before. I've never had a girlfriend before. I've never kissed a girl, talked to a girl, none of that. So like I was totally out of my depth. Did not know at all what was going on. And so I thought she was just trying to get to know me. And the next day she showed up with like my favorite candy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I fell for you that like fell right into your trap. And that was a very special little moment to me because this sounds so silly, but if you're a guy listening to this, it's really, really nerve wracking to like make an advance, even like a little one like that like it's a big risk. You're putting yourself out there on the line. Like that's a really scary thing. And it was so crazy of a moment to me because it was reciprocated. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm interested in this girl. She's showing interest in me. And from that moment on, we just spent a lot of time together. I would make I would make sure that any training seminar she went to, that I was going to the same one. I made sure that I sat next to her every day at lunch. Like I got there first so I could sit next to her. I would be like, "Hey, what you doing tonight?" And she's like, "Well, I need to go work on cutting stuff out in the workroom." And I was like, "Oh yeah, me too." I would just keep trying to spend as much time with her as possible. And she wanted to, that's super loud. She wanted to spend time with me too. And that was crazy to me. Long story short, because I could talk for hours about all of this. Long story short, one of my first interactions with her, I was like, yeah, Bachelor Rapture. And then I just immediately fell really hard for her. And I remember how much like peace I felt in her presence, like a unique peace, not just like the fun and joy of being around a friend, but I was like, I feel like complete when I'm in your presence. And I have been somebody who I haven't talked a whole lot about my testimony. This might be a little bit of an introduction to my testimony. Maybe I'll do a video now that I'm back recording, a long video on my testimony. But long story short, I had a very like unconventional upbringing, not a hard upbringing. I was very blessed and fortunate. I have a loving family. I've never had to worry where food's going to come from. I've always had a roof above my head. But my parents were full-time missionaries, right? We lived in Haiti for a few years. So that can be pretty crazy. And coming back to America, it was really hard to connect with people and make serious friendships. And I was like pretty closed off person. I was a very closed off person. I can't really think of anyone I ever talked to about my experiences in Haiti. I can't really think of any person I opened up to about like how I was feeling. I'm saying a lot because like it's such a weird thing being in love, bro. It's just I can't explain it. You experience everything and in a new language. I'm not usually one to say like and like, but like I'm getting emotional just like thinking about how my wife has just radically changed my life. But I'm gonna keep it together. I like 3 weeks into knowing her, maybe not even. I just remembered sitting down with her watching Gravity Falls and just like opening up about everything, just like randomly. And after I'd done it, I felt like I was in a trance. And then I snapped out of it and I was like, I just scared this girl away. Like, I just dropped so much random stuff on her. I totally just scared her away. And the next day I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I just like, this is so weird because I'm talking about things you guys have no idea about. But one day I'll talk about my testimony. I was like, Mom, I just opened up to this girl about these things that happened in Haiti that I never really talked about. And I think I'm in love with her. I think I'm in love with this woman. And my mom was just like, oh, okay. Wow. Like super surprised because that's not really anything they ever heard from me. Like I never really opened up or expressed interest in a woman ever, let alone be like, I'm in love with this girl. It's kind of weird there's no Minecraft music, but whatever. As I say that, it starts playing. That's hilarious. Yeah, so it was meeting my wife demonstrated to me. I'm going to start over. I'm going to put it like this. Forgive me. This is going to seem irrelevant, but this is the only way my brain can think about this and express this. Before I met my wife, before I knew her love and her refuge and the sanctuary of her presence, like I didn't see the world with such like enchantment. I didn't have like an artistic view, a view of like beauty. And yeah, like I said, like enchantment. I liked movies and I liked music, but I liked listening to music to see how many references and the double entendres that could be crammed into this and all of the like I like the analysis of it. I didn't really care about like the experience of it. Like I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, that's lame, like art, whatever. I liked watching movies and shows because I'm like, oh, this is a cool show. This is a cool movie. I love Marvel movies. This is really cool. I like The Office because I just could throw it on in the background and it was funny. Um, Meeting my wife, it like brought music into my world. It brought art and beauty into my world. It brought enchantment and like childlike wonder back into my world. I am a pretty objective person. If you've had a conversation with me, I'm pretty black and white, pretty right to the point. And my wife restored in me this like sensitivity and music. Music is not just what the words mean. It's an experience. It's what you feel. That's what's different from music than just a story. Story is those words come to life, but the music's what's alive, and it comes together with the words. And like, think about Minecraft music as it's playing right now. There's no words in Minecraft music, but it evokes something real. Like, that's very much what's hard about this video. And like talking about my wedding day is like, I can't tell you the moments chronologically, analytically of like my wedding day. Like, it was just a day of music. It was a day of just beauty and magic. And that's something that, like, that's a sense that my wife opened up in me. Where now, more than almost anything, I care about, like, beauty. I've always cared about truth and love, but, like, how beautiful that is. And I'm bringing this up, this like analogy or imagery of music, whatever. The reason I'm bringing this up, not just like, oh, I'm really into music and art and movies and whatever. It's not about that. It's about my wife complimented and completed me in a way that I had no idea I was missing something. I had no idea that I wasn't fully myself. Like, I was made whole when she was brought into when she was brought into my life. And I could talk for hours and hours about all of our like dating history, how we met. I'll come back to how we met. This is kind of all over the place. I'll come back to how we met, how we started dating, proposing, and then wedding. And then I just want to talk more like just generally about marriage and being married to her. But my wife is my most, like, it's just my greatest treasure on this earth. And I I make a lot of videos talking about the evidence of God, logical arguments for God. And this is something that is just true. This is just the honest truth. And I'm sorry that this is not something I can express to you who don't believe in God. This is not something that's like accessible to you that you can now understand and take in for yourself. But the greatest evidence to me of God's, not just existence, but like God's love is my wife, is Mrs. Bear, is, I can't say her name because I want to protect her privacy. She is, to me, just the greatest display, not just of God's love, like how she models it, like how she loves me, how she loved me, how when I just poured out all of my feelings and traumas and hurts and afflictions to her 2 weeks into meeting her, and she listened, like sat down and listened and didn't run away, but like talked with me and continued to just be like a friend to me, and not just like we hang out friend, but like I understood what a deep friendship is, what like companionship is. And seeing not just her love, like the love of God through her, but just like God's love, like his love to give me this woman, to trust his daughter to me to protect and provide for and love and serve. Like God is just so loving to give her to me. Like she's the greatest blessing to me, like on this earth. And I knew that right away. I knew that right away because I felt not just how I felt with her, which was just like peace and safety and rest. I felt such rest with her. I'm such a restless person. My mind is just constantly going. I'm just a chronic overthinker, overfeeler, over like I just got a I'm a hyper processor, which is why I make hours and hours of YouTube videos of me just talking. And what she brought to my life was just quiet. She brought quiet to my life. She brought peace and refuge and security and just rest. Quiet, still rest. I was lacking in nothing when I was in her presence. And that's a pretty extraordinary thing to feel. And not just that feeling when I'm with her, but I learned how terrible it was to be apart from her. It was a terrible, terrible thing to be apart from her. I felt the beauty and joy and rest of her presence, and I felt the sadness and loneliness, and like I felt this just ache in my gut when I was away from her. And that was like, it was crazy to me because I don't have this story with her of like, God told me you're my wife, you know? It's not like the heavens opened up and God said, this is your wife. I've never really had God speak to me directly like that, like you hear in the Bible or like some people's testimonies have. But the way God does speak to me is just strong conviction, a burning in my chest. And I knew if I didn't pursue this woman, I was making a big mistake. I knew I was making a really big mistake. And so like about a week after my whole, breaking down and giving her my life story night, I talked to her and I was like, I have to not just tell you how I feel. I'm like, I have to confess to you everything, like every dark deed, everything about my family, everything about me, everything about like just everything. Everything that hurts me, not just the good, but just the bad, the ugly, everything. And I was like, I feel like I'm going to date you. She's like, this is so awkward, guys. But I want to be honest. This is exactly what I said to her, because one of the ways that we got to know each other is we would just take turns asking each other questions all day long when we couldn't be with each other. We just text each other all day long. What's your favorite fish? What's your favorite flower? What's your favorite food? Where's your dream vacation spot? Whatever. We'd just ask questions all day long. And then when we were in each other's presence, we'd ask those questions. And she's like, okay, it's your turn. And I remember clear as day turning to her and asking her, how in the friend zone am I? And she just looked at me and I saw her light up. And she said, oh, I'm definitely into you. And I was like, I'm definitely into you too. And I was like, but I'm not ready to date. She's like, I'm not ready to date either. And I said, but we're gonna date. And I waited till I met her parents. I wanted to meet her parents and do it the right way. And then I was like, hey, I told her dad. Before I even told her, I was like, I'm in love with your daughter. And he's like, oh, wow. And I was like, I wanted to know if I could date your daughter. And he's like, yeah, well, he's probably like taken aback. He's like, well, okay, yeah. I just met you. Sure, go ahead. And that night, I bought her flowers. I'd never done that before. And I asked her to be my girlfriend. And wow, wow, wow. Anyways, I can keep talking while I'm on fire. I have a bucket of water though. Wow. Smash lag. And we started dating. And I'm gonna probably one day give a deep lore drop of about us and our relationship. But the truth is, like, I need to talk to my wife. Like, what are we allowed to share? Like, how much personal stuff are we allowed to share? But every moment I was with her, I just like that sense of peace and security grew. That just the overwhelming joy, like laughter was brought into my life. In I've always been a funny guy. I've always been a guy with a sense of humor. It's not like, oh my gosh, my life was gray before I met her, but my life was just, I could experience things in such new highs. And I just had all of my emotions and senses and just everything cranked up to levels I never thought they could be. I remember bringing her home for the first time, and my younger sister, was like, "You're so happy, and you're so nice since being with her. Like, she brought back your childlike gentleness and kindness." And we'll do a testimony video one day, but a lot of this stuff is interconnected. But a little bit about myself. When I was younger, I was such a crybaby. That was like that was probably the biggest thing I was known for. In all honesty, I was the biggest crybaby. I cried about everything. I cried when I went to school and I heard my friend's parents got divorced. I'd cry when even thought about a dog dying. I cried whenever anyone said something mean. I cried whenever I cried a lot. And I remember like getting into middle school and I was like, that's not acceptable. Like, you can't cry when you just can't cry. And then moving to Haiti in middle school, that definitely doubled down my whole, like, you can't cry, you can't be sensitive, you got to be like tough. Because in Haiti, it's like you experience, quote unquote, real suffering. And when I say quote unquote, the suffering in Haiti is real, but what I mean is my sufferings were fake, is what I had learned from Haiti. What I had convinced myself is like, my problems are not real problems. My sufferings are not real sufferings. Like, in Haiti, I witnessed true suffering, and anything in America is not real suffering. Like, that was the lessons I learned in my youth, in my immaturity, is I was just like, this is a better way to put it. The things I'm sad about aren't worth being sad about. The things that make me cry and sad don't matter. There's real suffering out there. And long story short, I became really closed off and bitter and a lot more rigid. And I remember my sister just saying to me, only a couple months into dating Mrs. Bear, like, you're a nicer person. Like, my wife just brought everything. She brought so much beauty into my life. And I'm smiling the whole time recording this. I'm just so thankful for her. If you're listening, my beautiful wife, I love you so much. I'm so thankful for you. So that's the most of it as far as like dating. I might someday like do story time, like story time of like, here's a specific story, here's a specific life advice, whatever. There's a point I also want to go back to that I missed because I wanted to make this applicable and actionable and practical. Men listening to this, if there's a woman you're interested in, pursue her with gentleness, respect, honor her as a daughter of God. Don't ever live in the regret of what could have been. Just go after it. Christian women want a man who makes the first move, who is confident, not overconfident or arrogant or cocky, but somebody who's like bold. Bold is a better word than even confident. Just bold and kind. So have courage. Take courage. That woman you've been wanting to talk to her. Anyways, because if I let fear take over me, man, I wouldn't know where I'd be today without my wife. This is the part of the video where it gets really awkward because I'm putting stuff in chests. And if you guys know Image Bear, as soon as a chest opens up, my mouth closes. But anyways, after a couple years of dating, bought an engagement ring. Bought her an engagement ring. I proposed to her last summer. And we got married this summer. And this is the hardest part of the video for me because, as you can tell, like, I'm a very mushy gushy about my wife. I love her so much. All of the feelings I felt when I first met her, like being able to call her my wife, it's proof to me that heaven's real. That's what I'm saying. And my wife is just, her presence is proof to me that there exists perfect refuge, perfect security, that every tear will be wiped away. There's no pain or death or sick. Like, she has demonstrated to me like a taste of that. She has demonstrated to me like the love of God in such a tangible way. And how do you express that in a Minecraft video? We got married last month. I knew I was going to marry her for a long time, but that knowledge doesn't prepare you for what marriage actually is and how overwhelming the love and joy of a wedding day is when you do Christian dating the right way, when you do an engagement the right way, when you have honesty and purity and faithfulness, and when that's magnified in marriage with like fidelity and commitment and self-sacrificial love. And it's just, marriage is the best part of my life. And it's because marriage is something God gave us to demonstrate exactly the relationship we have with Jesus, that Jesus is the groom, that we, the church, are his bride. And we don't really like traditional marriage in our culture. I'm not going to make this video about this. It's just a point. We don't really like traditional marriage. We don't like traditional gender roles. And the reason we don't like them is because our culture's perverted. The rulers of our culture are governed by evil. So they want to destroy beautiful things. They destroy beauty, destroy truth in exchange for ugliness and lies and wickedness. And the beauty of a committed fidelity between one man and one woman exclusively We only have eyes for each other. We only have a heart for each other. A man with a woman, a husband with a wife. And not just that, this is the part where I'm going to lose even some Christians. But the beauty of headship, of male headship, that a husband is the head of his home, the head of his wife. The beauty of that is something our culture needs. That's the most basic foundation of our culture. And we've lost that. So no wonder everything is just all over the place crazy. And I'm bringing this up because Christ, in his authority, in his power, in his ability to provide, never holds it over us in an abuse, but humbled himself and became a servant. Like, that's what it is to be a husband. I'm sorry to you feminists out there. Men are a lot stronger than women. A lot. Men are a lot more physically capable than women. And that should only ever be used for service of your woman and for protection and provision. Jesus on the cross suffering could have called down an army of angels, could have just wiped out, just snapped his fingers and wiped out all of his persecutors. But he bore the suffering and said, forgive them. Jesus stood with the men that he created. Jesus stood with the men that he created and washed their feet. The men that would be nothing without him, that literally nothing. They would not exist without Jesus. And Jesus washed their feet. That's what it is to be a husband. It's to serve your wife. It's to devote yourself completely and love your wife. And the responsibility of a wife is just like the church, which is to receive that sacrifice. And to say, I trust in you, Jesus. I follow you, Jesus. That's the role of the church, the bride of Christ, is to submit to Christ. And that's the role of a wife to a husband, is to submit to your husband. And that's such a beautiful thing for both my wife and I, that we're a part of that. That we're a part of the love of Jesus in a unique way that only in marriage you can experience. And my wedding day, guys, I'm never going to have a day of my life like that ever again on this side of heaven. It's just the most cherished memory to me. Just how beautiful my wife was. Like, all my sisters coming to me, because we didn't do a first look. The first time I saw her was down the aisle. We did a first prayer. So I went around the corner. She went around the corner. I held her hair and we prayed for each other, which is a super fun idea. You guys should try if you're getting married. The first time I saw her was down the aisle. My sisters were like getting her ready, obviously. And she's like, I'm not just saying this to you, but she's the most beautiful bride I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, they were sure right. She's just the most beautiful woman ever. It was just such an overwhelming moment. And it was so funny because her dad's speech at the wedding was like, we all did an over-under of when, Image Bear would cry, except he didn't call me Image Bear. Obviously, I'm just not name dropping myself. I was so overwhelmed because like I saw just a picture of like the beauty of the heavens on this earth as those doors opened up and I saw my bride. And I was just like crying, thinking like, is this how you see us, Jesus? Me, like a dirty, wretched, broken, I'm such an unfaithful man to you, God. I'm so wicked and dirty and broken the way I see my beautiful bride in this moment, this is how you see me, Jesus. Like, it's crazy. This world is so broken. It's so dark. It's a dark, sad, hard, difficult place. But my wife restored beauty and radiance to my life. And not just seeing her walking down the aisle, but then like getting to dance with her and look around and see all of our friends dancing with us, and my younger brothers and my sisters. And that's such a creepy sound. That's such a creepy sound. Um, just like seeing all the people closest to me just all dancing and having such a good time to just celebrate our union together. There's just nothing like my wedding day. It just felt like the closest a human being on this earth can experience to heaven. Just all of us. There was no time. There was no time. There was no sadness. There was no tears. It was just like music. It was just a moment. I can't tell you, like I was saying earlier, this is why I brought it up earlier. My brain, like I loved music to analyze what it meant. The words, what do they mean? But sometimes it's like dissecting a flower. If you dissect a flower to understand what the flower means, you've destroyed its beauty. And the just overwhelming love and joy of that wedding day is something I get to carry every single day. It's not a high that I'm going to chase. You know, when you go down a really big roller coaster, you want to go down a bigger roller coaster, scarier roller coaster. When you eat some garbage food like, you know, Takis and chips and cake and cookies, and you just cram yourself and you get sick on it, you're like, oh, I can't eat anymore. And then as soon as it's gone, you go back for more. It's like, you know, or like chasing a high. It's unfulfilling. That's why we chase it. It's unfulfilling. That's why we chase it. Because if something's fulfilling, you remain in it. You belong in it. You have it. It is always with you. You're never lacking. Like, marriage is a one-time thing. My wedding day is something I'm there every morning. I wake up next to my wife. I get to tap into that joy and that love and that refuge, that sanctuary, that peace and rest. I have access to it every single day. It's not just a moment in the past. It's like, that is my lived experience now. It's just joy, utter joy. And that's not to say life's easy and there's nothing sad. You know, I didn't really want to like talk about this because I didn't want to just be like, oh, sympathy, whatever. Like we've had some hard days since being married. And our honeymoon, amazing honeymoon, 10 out of 10 honeymoon, perfect. Like the best times of my life spending with her. And like on the last couple of days of our honeymoon, somebody stole her engagement ring. They stole her engagement ring. And an engagement ring was something to me that, you know, I was a college student. I didn't have much money. I've never spent that much money in my life. I worked really hard to show her how much I loved her. And I gave it to her, and it was her favorite thing ever. All those moments of holding hands, walking to class, and her cutting my hand with the diamond on her ring, or scratching my hand, or we're in the car, she holds it up to the light, she's just like looks at me with a big cute smile of how much she loves it, and she's just like, I love it. And like during your honeymoon to have that thing robbed from you is really devastating. It's like really absolutely devastating. And outside of just that, things with like work. I know I kind of opened up with this last video, and this was something that most of my video that I recorded last week that the audio was corrupted. Most of that video was just about my work and how I'm really unfulfilled with work, and I feel like I'm not doing the right thing. I need to start making YouTube videos. That's kind of what I feel called to do in this season. You know, we've had some really rough days with work. My work has been very, very draining and unfulfilling, and whatever. We've had some challenging times that I don't really feel like talking about what's challenging and hard so that you guys are like, you know, there's this part of the human experience where whenever you talk about the goodness in your life, you kind of feel like you have to offset it, like so people don't think you're like, you know, living on easy street or like, and I feel like that's stupid. I don't need to talk about what's hard in my life. If people watch these videos, they're like, "Oh, you're such a privileged little blessed happy boy. Some of us are sad out here." Like, okay, bro, I got the love of the Lord in my heart, whatever. So I'm not gonna keep talking about sad stuff because my whole point is that what my wife brings me is comfort, is refuge, is all of the things that hurt, the things that used to hurt, the things that do hurt. Even those things are brought into perfect love through her comfort. It's like that, back to what I'm saying with the image of heaven, is like the image of heaven is not blip, you forget about everything bad and sad. It says that the Lord will wipe away every tear. And that wiping away of tears is like, that's superior to ignorance is bliss. That's superior to wiping away out of your mind everything bad. It's actually superior to suffer and be comforted. And in the darkest days, in the brightest days, in the worst days, the best days, the rich days, poor days, sick days, healthy days, and all the days, I'm so blessed to be her husband. She's just the best thing that's ever happened to me. And this video is basically, I guess, a love letter to her, because I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, most people, if they click on a video that's like, I got married, it's like, here's our wedding day, here's our wedding pictures, here's a wedding video, here's this is my wife introduction, and this is just me talking about how much I love her. Which, who knows, maybe there's an audience for that and maybe there's not, but I mean, this video is just to my wife. So I love you, beautiful. I love you, Mrs. Bear. Do you ever think you'd marry a Minecraft YouTuber? We joked about that all the time, because I have a pre-medical degree from Texas A&M, and as I'm graduating, I started a Minecraft YouTube channel, and all my siblings would be like, "Are you you're marrying a YouTuber?" Like, it was so funny. But anyways, this is what I want to say to all of you listening. The world we live in is beautiful. Truly, truly beautiful. It's very broken. It's very chaotic. It's very loud. Quiet yourself. Find a quiet place. Find a person who brings quiet. I talk about how much quiet my wife brings. My wife is not a quiet person. Neither of us are quiet people. We're both loud people who are constantly told, "Hey, quiet down, you're so loud." We both have a loud, loud laugh, loud voice. Like, we are loud people. I'm not saying find a quiet, shy. I'm not saying that. My wife's not shy at all. She's not quiet at all. Find a person that brings quiet to your life, that brings silence. a person that you can dwell in silence with. Dwell in silence with the Lord. Quiet yourself as I munch loudly on a carrot. I'm really like hoping. I'm really hoping Minecraft music comes in because this is like my outro. Spoiler alert. Silence is what is required to hear whispers. Proximity is what's required to hear whispers. The Lord speaks to us in whispers. If you're listening to this video and you don't believe in God, maybe believe in God, you just don't know how to hear him, you don't know if he's talking to you, quiet yourself. Seek a quiet, private place. Pursue that. I didn't hear a loud voice from the heavens saying, "This is your wife, marry her." But I felt the kingdom of God when I was in her presence, because her presence quieted down my loud mind, my tormented heart. It was all stilled in her presence. And it brought just such beauty. The world we live in is beautiful. We look at it with a wrong lens. Just as I demonstrated to you 5 minutes ago, how easy it is to talk about what's negative and sad and heartbreaking. I just felt, get out of here, bro. I just felt like, oh, I need to talk about something sad to balance out everything beautiful. It's like, what is it about the human spirit that we do that? Why did I feel the need to balance it out? There's such beauty in love. There's nothing greater than love. Nothing. There's nothing that matters if there's no love. We need to love each other. We have to. We're gonna fail as a species. We're gonna fail this earth. We're gonna fail. We're not gonna succeed. We're not going to triumph if we don't love each other, if we don't quiet down, if we don't listen, if we don't hear, if we don't serve, if we don't humble ourselves. We have to love one another. I was such a person who I loved living in isolation. I just loved facts. I loved studying. I loved the scholarly aspects of Christianity. I loved reading my Bible. And I had a hard time with people. I had a hard time with church. And then in meeting my wife, I was like, we're supposed to exist together. We're supposed to do life together. People are supposed to do life together. We're designed for it. I was incomplete without her. How much more so I'm incomplete without God, who created me for the purpose of dwelling with him. He created me and my wife for each other to dwell intimately with each other. You must be quiet and you must be near to love somebody. You must be quiet and you must be near to love God. If you don't hear God, draw close to him. Quiet yourself. I don't think I've ever done a Minecraft outro without music, but it's ironic because I'm talking about being quiet. So Let's be quiet. Oh my gosh, just look at that. That's all of our subscribers. That's so cool. One day, maybe we'll get all of this. Who knows? My life has been transformed by love. Love is the metaphysic of this universe. Love is so much more important than anything else. True sacrificial love. Love that lays down its life for others. I am just so thankful to you, my beautiful wife. I'm thankful that God gave you to me. I'm thankful for your sacrificial love and your kindness and your gentleness and your laughter, your wisdom. I'm just so thankful for you. And those of you listening, you're not chopped liver. I care about you guys too, just not even close to the degree I care about my wife. I have a lot of favoritism with my wife, as a married man should. But I care about you guys too. I hope that you guys know this joy and love, the peace of God. I hope you learn to find it. Dear Heavenly Father God, I thank you for this day. I thank you for everyone listening to this video. I pray that you help them find quiet. Help them find the place that they can be still and silent and hear you. Protect and bless everyone watching this video. Prepare for them a wife, prepare for them a husband, prepare for them a family. Pour your spirit out on us, Lord. Revive us, refill us, sustain us, protect us. I pray, God, that your will be done on earth. Make it as it is in heaven. By the powerful blood of your Son, Jesus, I thank you. And in his holy name I pray. Amen. If you made it to this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you consider subscribing. It's totally free. You can change your mind. Drop a like, drop a comment, check out the Discord. It's the link's in the description. Join the Discord if you want some Christian community. I'm thankful for all of you listening. I'm thankful for you image bearers. I love making these videos. I can't wait for the next one. I'm going to take off now. This is such an awkward ending. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for this channel. Stay blessed. Stay cool. Stay epic. Signing out for now, boys. Ciao.